Welcome to a sales pitch for a course on test construction. To evaluate learning development is important but also tricky. It requires the right resources and expertise. Yet many educators do so with only limited resources and little formal training in developing, grading and interpreting tests. That is a real problem. The solution is simple. Let's build a course to help educators identify the best test type items and grading option for their purpose and situation. The goal for this course would be quite straightforward. It would be to identify test types, items and grading options to evaluate learning. The format would be simple as well. It would be short, no longer than 20 minutes, offer non-subject specific content and be relevant for all educators. The structure of this course would be made up of 3 modules, 3 objectives, 6 tasks and continual evaluation. The very first module would be the one about test types. Let's have a look. The first module would introduce both objective and subjective test types, with explanations as to their characteristics and suitability for different purposes and situations. The objective of this module would be to demonstrate the ability to identify both test types. The task at hand would be to identify purposes and situations for both test types, when to use them and when to avoid using them. To evaluate this model, we would offer standardized and authentic evaluation methods. For example, we could use quizzes to identify characteristics and pair them with purposes and situations, or we could offer choice of test types to match with a specific purpose and situation. Let's continue with the second module of our course, this one about test items. Our second module would offer a selection of test items with examples, such as multiple choice, true and false matching and completion quizzes, or even essays, problem-solving exercises, and individual performances. The objective would be to demonstrate the ability to identify test items for different types of tests. Consequently, the task for the second module at hand is to identify test type items for objective and subjective test types. The module offers standardized evaluation in the form of a matching quiz to pair test type items with examples, multiple choice quiz to categorize test item types into groups, as well as an exercise to compare a pair of test item types. The module is evaluated authentically by applying the instructional content through a choice of one or more test item types to include in the test type previously selected by the learner. Last but not least, our third module, this one about grading options. The content of this module will be a selection of grading options with examples, such as standardized grading by points, percentages and colors, or individual grading by performance criteria and grading rubrics. The objective of the third module would be to demonstrate the ability to identify grading options for different test types. The task, of course, to identify grading options for different test types. Also in this module, we offer standardized and authentic evaluation. We offer quizzes to identify, match and organize grading options, and a choice of grading options for selected test types and items. To sum it all up, this is a proposal to create a course for educators to help identify appropriate test types, items and grading options to evaluate learning development. Let's do this, people! Educators need our help, and that's what we're here for. That was all for today. This sales pitch was created by Julia Ryberg. Thanks for listening, and let's keep in touch.